start tonight reclined. So tonight will be a relaxing practice as we head into a long holiday weekend. So beginning by reclining and simply allowing the weight of your body to release down into the mat. Feeling the back of your heels release. Maybe allow the legs to relax so that the feet splay outward. Dropping down through your hips. Maybe rolling the shoulders underneath the back so you feel as though the blades are actually supporting and lifting the center of your chest. And simply allow the eyes to remain closed. As you come into this present moment here on your mat, releasing down, relaxing and softening. And as your body becomes still and present, allow the mind to do the same. And it's often easier to find a focal point in order to still our mind. So today, allow that to be the breath. Expanding on the breath in, feeling the belly, the chest, the ribs rise. Feeling a gentle release and melting sensation as the body comes deeper, as your belly, your chest, and your ribs fall. Allow your breath to be a bit deeper than your natural breath cycle, perhaps breathing in, counting maybe to 5, 6, or 7, and breathing out, matching that count. Slowing the breath to reach the same number that you did on your inhale. And being present in the body as you feel the expansion, feel the lift, the opening of the inhale. Being present in your mind as you focus on the length of that inhale and exhale. And as you become present here in body and mind, allow yourself to set an intention for your practice. Maybe an intention for the long holiday weekend ahead. We're heading into a full moon on Sunday. Many of you may or may not have heard of Mercury in retrograde. Mercury entered retrograde on June 18th. It will release on July 12th, but it is a time of a bit of crazy communicative energy. So oftentimes communications or technology can cause us some problems during this time, and I know that certainly has been the case in my life. There's some strange energy swirling around. So taking this opportunity to simply allow that to release. And on your next exhale, allow your legs to walk to the right, taking the left ankle over the right ankle. Reach your arms behind your head, interlacing your fingers. Press the palms backward and reach over to your your right side. So now your feet are reaching right, your arms are reaching right, and you're feeling this gentle stretch across the side of your waist, maybe the outer hip, and certainly underneath the arm on the left side of your body. Being mindful of the shoulder on the left, that it's releasing down to the floor, so not reaching so much that the shoulder comes up, maybe just bending the elbow. Slowly you'll draw the body back through center, walk the legs to your left side, crossing now right ankle over left ankle, reaching the arms to the left, finding that stretch on the side of your body on the right. Breathing and releasing down. Slowly walking the hands, walking the feet back through center, bending your knees as you take the soles of the feet to the mat, and allowing the arms to release down with the palms facing upward. Walk your heels in. We're simply going to take some pelvic tilt, so not full bridge. Simply scoop the belly. Imagine the tailbone drawing to the heels, little lift up of the tailbone, and then release that down. We'll be working through the low back tonight. Scoop and release. Last time, scoop and release. With the feet walking as wide as the mat, allow the knees to drop to your right. Inhale them through center, dropping them over to your left side. Inhale them through center, dropping over once again right. And through center, once again left. Drawing the knees right to center. Let them draw into your chest, taking the thighs wide, so knees do not touch. Thighs come wide, maybe even wider than the ribs, and rock a little bit from side to side. So a little bit of a modified dead bug pose. And then slowly from here with the hands to the knees, draw the knees a bit closer and circle 3 times to the right. Allow your body to move slowly. Circle now 3 times to the left. Coming into a short week with hopefully a day off for the holiday. It might have been a busy, frenetic week for some of us. Draw those knees in. So allow yourself to be gentle, to be slow, and to soften. Let that left sole of the foot come down, cross your right ankle up over your left knee. Very gently here, you'll interlace either behind that left leg or in front of the shin. If that does not feel right on your body, simply let that heel rest down. Opening gently across the hip. We're not warm yet, so you will definitely feel this, and it will not take much movement to get there. And just breathe in and breathe out. And slowly relax that sole down. You'll switch the cross of the legs, taking left over right now. Interlacing behind that right leg only if that feels appropriate in your body today. And just knowing that there's no extra work in the knee on that left side. Body's not super warm just yet. Slowly releasing down. Allow the arms to relax to the sides once again. You're going to slowly press to your right side, taking the left hand to the floor as you press up and find a comfortable seat. So again, as I noted, tonight's practice will be slow. It will be very deliberate as we come into some stillness around hopefully what is to be a time of relaxation for many of us. Allow the right ankle to be in front of the left and take a breath in as the chest rises. Slowly you'll tilt forward over those legs, pressing downward and outward through the knees as much as feels comfortable. And give a bit of rocking from side to side here. And slowly rising up, taking the right ear to the right shoulder. And dropping the chin down to the chest, taking left ear now to left shoulder. And dropping the chin through the chest, you'll roll the shoulders to the ears. And as the blades drop down the back, allow the head to rise. Let's take the left hand down, rise up through the right arm, pressing and reaching. So you'll press down through the right hip and reach over through the fingertips. As you inhale, open the chest up. And as you exhale, close the chest off. Inhaling, open. Exhaling, closed. Last time, open up. As you close, this time your fingertips will walk over to the left side of your mat, pressing down and back through that right hip. Feeling that nice gentle stretch over the waist, over the ribs. And slowly walking your hands through center, tent your fingertips, broaden across your collarbone, sending that chest forward. Feeling your right hip a bit deeper than your left now with that right leg forward. And slowly walk your hands back. You'll switch the way the legs are crossed, taking left in front of right now. Perhaps walking the sits bones back so the tailbone doesn't tuck. And let the hands come to the knees as you send the chest forward and give a bit of rocking from side to side. Feeling that through the hips, through the inner thighs. Coming back to center, draw the shoulders over those hips. This time you'll take left ear to left shoulder. Dropping the chin down through the chest, right ear will come to right shoulder. Dropping the chin down through the chest, roll the shoulders up. And then drop them down the back as the head levels. Reaching that right arm down, left arm up. Pushing down through the left hip, reach. As you breathe in, you open. And as you breathe out, you close. Inhale, open. Exhale, close. Last time we inhale, open up. As you exhale, allow the hand to lengthen over that knee and in front of the knee as you press back through that left hip. Feeling the stretch over the left side, waist and ribs. Slowly let your hands walk forward through center, tent your fingertips. Broaden across the collarbones as you open up the chest. And then slowly walk back. Now this time you're going to take the right ear to the right shoulder and allow the right hand to come up over the left side of the head. Drawing a little bit more weight into the stretch, press out through your left knee and draw your chin down towards your right collarbone. Feeling that come across the back of the neck. Again, if it's been a busy work week, long hours, early mornings, late evenings, even if from home, the body holds a lot of tension up through these muscles in the neck and the shoulders. Allow the hand to drop down, chin will drop through chest. Left ear comes to left shoulder, left hand will come up over right side of head. Pressing downward and outward through the right hand into the knee. And bringing the chin down toward the left collarbone. Release the hand, chin will drop to chest, arms rise up, interlace your fingers. Draw the heels of the hands down around the base of the skull and wrap the elbows around the temples, feeling that stretch over the back of your neck. It might even come down between your blades. Slowly, you'll release the palms upward toward the ceiling, lengthen your gaze upward toward your hands, and if you find your shoulders reaching to your ears, drop them down by bending your elbows. Feel the stretch where the chest and the arms meet. And then release your hands behind your back, interlacing fingers. Knuckles will draw down and back, chest will draw open. Deep breath in. And full breath out. Slowly release, hands will come to knees. Allow the soles of the feet to touch, taking the heels out wide so you have more of a diamond shape than butterfly wings. Okay, this time it's going to be a bit wide. You're going to take that chest long and tilt forward for this variation on bound angle. It's a yin or softening, releasing pose. Let the head hang heavy. If it feels right, maybe the forearms walk down to the mat and you allow the upper back to round even deeper as you simply allow those muscles to release around the bones in the back of the ribs, the spine, even across the top and back of your hips. Slowly walking those hands back up, We're gonna send the knees toward one another, soles of the feet down, hands will come behind the knees. Lift up through the chest as you breathe in. Round the spine as you breathe out. Inhale, rise and lift. Exhale, round and rinse. Last time, inhale, rise and lift. Exhale, round and rinse. Slowly drawn up through center, neutral spine. Let's take that right leg forward into a bent leg, so 90 degrees. Your left foot will come back. Begin by walking your upper torso over that right shin. Hands can be in front, hands can be tented, or forearms can drop down. All depends on your range of motion and what feels right in the body today. But simply breathe. Allow the inhale to let you recognize where you're feeling sensation in your body. Allow the exhale to soften into that sensation. And by that, all I mean is when we feel tension or discomfort, we tend to hold it somewhere. So scan the body as you're exhaling and notice places that might be able to relax. So for me, I hold it between my brows. I hold it in my jawline and my shoulders, even if I'm feeling deep sensation in the hip. So notice on your inhale and soften on your exhale. Begin to walk your hands to the upper left corner. Again, now coming deeper, but bringing the low back into the stretch. Starting to walk your hands up. You'll slide your right heel in, and you'll take your left foot and cross it either in front of or over that right knee, allowing the heel of the right foot to walk out so that the left hip can reach toward or to the floor. Left hand comes behind the back, right arm lifts up, find length in your spine here, and then as you breathe out, you will wrap around. Your options are just hug the knee, or perhaps take the tricep, the back of the arm, outside of the outer knee. Always reaching the hip toward the floor and the chest toward the ceiling. Bringing out deeply through the low belly, the low back. And slowly coming back through center. Let's take the left foot forward and the right foot behind. Finding this 90-degree bend in your legs. And again, walking the torso over that left leg wherever your body feels comfortable. Perhaps forearms to earth. Perhaps even forehead to the floor or forehead to a block. And allow your breath to guide your awareness. Noticing discomfort on the inhale or stretch or sensation. And notice softening on the exhale. Slowly begin to walk your hands over to the upper right corner of your mat now, bringing in a stretch to the low back. And walk your hands back. Sending your left heel now in toward the right inner thigh. Right foot comes either in front of or over the left knee. And allow space for that hip to drop down. Right hand behind, left arm rises up, tall spine. Find your variation of the twist. Elbow, perhaps tricep. And come right back through center. Let's find our way onto hands and knees slowly, mindfully. Just noticing how the body feels now after a few deep stretches and twists, and find a couple of cat-cows here as the belly draws down and the chest lengthens forward. Round your spine out on an exhale. Inhale, lengthen, open. Exhale, round, release. Coming back to your neutral spine, let's take that right foot out to the right side. Again, hands can stay where they are, perhaps forearms come to your mat. You're going to start by shifting your hips forward and then draw them back. So hips come back behind the line of that right heel, coming towards your left heel. Feeling now inner thigh stretch open. Working a bit with breath. As we inhale, we'll come forward to neutral. And as we exhale, we'll draw back through that heel, or through that hip to the heel. Inhale, draw to neutral. Neutral being ankle, knee, and hip in one line. Exhale, draw back. And last time, you'll inhale, come forward. And as you exhale, draw back. Hold here, 2 breaths. Slowly come to neutral with the hips. Draw your hands underneath your shoulders and take that right knee underneath your right hip. Find a cat-cow, reset the spine, belly draws down, lengthen. Round the spine, rinse. Coming to neutral, you'll step out through your left foot. Hands can stay where they are, forearms can perhaps come to blocks, stacked books, or the mat. And press back through your hips. So find that edge, find the place where you feel the deepest sensation that is just this side of pain. So you don't want pain. And we're going to move a little bit with breath, coming forward to neutral, and then drawing back toward that heel. Inhaling forward to neutral, exhaling back toward the heel. And then last time, inhale forward to neutral. Exhale back toward the heel. Hold here 2 full breaths. And slowly coming back to neutral, hands will come underneath your shoulders. That left knee will come underneath your hip. Draw the belly down, lengthen the chest forward. Nice deep breath in. Round that spine out as you breathe out. Stay rounded, press your hips backward. Feeling that nice length over the low back. I'll come sideways so you can see the rounding. And then shift the hips to the left. And shift the hips to the right. Coming back through neutral. Let's curl the toes under. You're going to lift your shins and knees hovering here. Imagine you could send your ribs towards your thighs and then send your hips upward, keeping those ribs toward the thighs. And then slowly you lengthen the chest and then start lengthening the back of the legs into your down dog. Not here for too long, simply taking a moment to lengthen through each heel, pedaling out. Let your head hang heavy here. Slowly look forward toward your thumbs and walk to the middle of your mat. Tense your fingers to your shins as you lengthen halfway lift, coming to a flat back. Take the arms wide like the letter T, navel is pulling inward. Back of hands pressing upward as shoulder blades pull together. Let your toes be light, heels be heavy, and slowly unhinge. Reaching up and releasing the hands down. You're going to slowly rise the arms, interlace your fingers, palms press upward. Reach and come over to your right side, left foot bearing quite a bit of weight. Reach and come over to your right side, left side, right foot bearing quite a bit of weight. Inhale, come through center. Slowly take your hands to your imaginary back pocket. You're going to think about navel drawing in towards spine, lifting up, rolling back. So if your tailbone is kicking out, draw it down toward the back of your heels. That will neutralize low back and give you a nice open back bend here. So your back bend should be long, not simply creased. And then slowly you'll fold forward once again. Opposite elbow to opposite hand as you hang here in a ragdoll, and let your head shake yes and no. Slowly you'll draw your hips low, bending your knees, and round up one vertebrae at a time. Lifting the arms up overhead, take the hands through center chest and walk to the top of your mat mindfully. Keeping the hands at center chest, press the palms together. Close the eyes. Rock the weight to your left side. Rock the weight to your right side. Notice with your eyes closed how your balance changes left and right. One more time, left and right. Open your eyes, rock to the balls of your feet, lifting your heels. Rock the weight back, lifting simply the toes. Rock the weight up and back. Last time, rocking up and back. As you inhale, arms will sweep up. As you exhale, step back, left foot. Crescent lunge, not super deep. The body is not terribly warm yet. You'll interlace your fingers, press the palms forward and up. Gentle stretch here. Bending your elbows to relax the shoulder blades down the back, and just finding a slow, steady breath. Mindfully releasing through the front of that left hip. Allow the hands to come to your hips. You're going to shift your back heel down and then shift the weight to the back leg. So you can bend and release into that knee. I'll turn sideways so you see what I'm doing. So you're coming into that left knee, the right foot is lifting up. And then you'll shift forward again, crescent lunge. Allowing the hips to sink and breathing here. So creating some warmth, creating some strength and heat in the body. Slowly release your hands to either side of that foot. Simply step back to your downward facing dog. And again, allow that head to hang heavy. And find your breath. Taking your gaze to your thumbs, you'll walk up once again simply to the middle of the mat. This time, take your peace fingers, place them between your big toe and second toe. Thumb to big toe nail. Bend your knees a bit as the elbows bend out to the sides. Take the upper body down over the lower body. Give some pressure to the heels and the big toe edges of the feet. And imagine the heels energetically spinning slightly away from one another. You'll feel the backs of the legs open even more when you do that. Relax those hands, lengthen up, halfway lift. Belly in, weight in heels, arms out. Pressing the back of the hands up. Lengthen all the way up, unhinging from the hips and walking to the top of the mat once again. This time, inhaling the arms up. And as you exhale, let the hands come through center chest. You're going to shift the weight to the left, lift your right knee up. Shift your weight to the right, lift your left knee up. One more time, rock left, lift right. Rock right, lift left. Excellent. Inhale, arms will rise. As you exhale, step back, right toes, crescent lunge. Sitting those hips low, pressing forward through the shin, back through that right heel. Interlace your fingers, Press the palms up and back, allowing those elbows to relax so that the shoulder blades can release down your back. Let your hands draw to your hips. You're going to shift that back heel down, lift up through the sole of the left foot, lean into your right knee and drop those hips. Slowly come forward, sweep up, crescent lunge. Finding that crescent, deepening into the lunge as you sink the hips. And then frame your foot as you step back to your downward facing dog. Slowly you're going to walk your feet wider than the mat. Toes will turn out, heels will turn into the edges of your mat. Tense your fingers. Drop your hips low, bend those knees deeply. So you're coming into what's called a malasana squat. And you're going to shift just a bit from side to side, getting into those hips. And then we have a couple of options as we come through center. Hands can come to knees and press outward. Or you can sit low, walking those heels in just a bit, sitting low, and allowing the hands to come to the center of the chest as the elbows press the knees out. Wherever you are, if hands are on knees, simply press the knees away and breathe, feeling the inner thighs and hip creases open deeply. Allow your hands to tent. Turn the toes in now, heels out, and fold forward. Again, fingertips can stay to the earth, perhaps blocks. Maybe full palm reaches down to the floor. Maybe crown of head reaches down to the floor. But wherever you are, allow the chin and the chest to reach downward. Allow the jawline to relax. Begin to walk your hands over to your right leg, right hand to ankle or shin, left hand to right hand, pull down. Coming back through center, left hand to ankle or shin, right hand to left hand, pulling down. And again, walk those hands into center, taking the left knee down and the right knee down, and simply finding a cat-cow here. Belly draws down, chest lengthens, spine rounds. Let your big toes touch, press your hips to your heels, find child's pose. Back should feel completely neutral in your child's pose. Slowly we'll rise up, hands and knees. Taking that right leg back behind you, you'll lift up to hip height. Bend your knee. Send the knee wide and step it forward to the pinky finger. Draw the hips forward and down, finding this supported low lunge on hands or hands on blocks. Keeping in mind that hands on blocks allows us to not slump in. We want the length in the spine, so the higher up you can go, the longer the spine will get if your back is tight, or frankly, if the hips are tight. From here, you're going to curl your left toes under, lifting the knee up off the mat as you press back through the heel. And find some circling to the right side. So you're coming through circles right to left. Coming back to center, you're going to draw forward to tips of toes, back through heel, forward to tips of toes, back through heel. Stay here. Press your right knee forward, your left heel back. Feel that stretch in your hip flexor. And slowly drop down. Drop the shoelace side of your left foot down. Right hand will come to your knee. And you'll find a twist, keeping that knee right up to 12 o'clock. and slowly walk back. You're going to take your right leg and walk it to the left. And you'll let that knee drop down. Now, if the knees are problematic here, you are simply going to sit and take the one we did at the beginning, okay? Otherwise, you're going to allow the hips to square off with the left leg extended behind you as we come into King Pigeon pose. Ekapada Raja Kapotasana in Sanskrit, just for giggle's sake. And now the trick here is not allowing your body to drop off into that right hip. If I were to take my nice cold water glass and put it on the small of my back here, I don't want it sliding off. So ideally the hips are square, and that may mean that you need to take a rolled blanket and stuff it underneath the hip to build the floor up to meet the hip. Allow the chest to lengthen over the shin. Curl your left toes under as we did in the lunge and press back through your heel. You'll feel your glute on the right and the hip flexor on the left, and then allow that leg to drop down and relax again. If your forearms are to the earth or blocks, let the upper arm bones come up toward the earlobes and let the head hang heavy. Little extra stretch through the trapezius muscles in the upper traps. One more full deep breath here. And slowly begin to walk your hands back underneath your shoulders. Curl your left toes under so that you can walk the body up a bit and slide that right leg back to neutral. Now, take the leg out to the side, kind of like a dogged hydrant, and circle that hip out. Slowly letting that knee release down. Find a cat-cow as we reset your spine to neutral. Coming back, you'll extend through left toes, lift up to hip height, bend the knee, and send that knee wide as you step outside the pinky finger. And find the proper position for you so that you feel a stretch through the front part of your right leg and the inner thigh hip crease of the left leg. With hands planted on books, blocks, or floor, curl your right toes under, lift up off of that knee. And find some circling, left to right. Coming back to neutral, you'll rock forward and then back through the heel. Roll the tips of toes, rock back through your heel. One more time, tips of toes, rocking back through heel, press forward through shin. Release the knee down. Taking your left hand to your left knee, you'll begin to twist to the left side of the room, wringing out through the belly, through the low back. And slowly walk those hands back down. You'll walk your left leg over, again finding this half pigeon, knowing that your variation is to allow that right knee to bend upward. I find that taking the flesh of the calf and rolling it open, so rolling it kind of out toward my mat, helps. It takes the bones of the lower leg and rotates them. Taking forearms down, if that feels appropriate for you. Finding level hips. And maybe releasing the head heavy between the upper arms. You're going to slowly take the hands underneath your shoulders. Curl the back toes under, press through your heel. And then walk that leg up a bit, creating space so that that left leg can come back. And you can find a little bit of free movement here. So for me, I like to shift my hips over as the belly drops down and then kind of slide them across the back of the mat in a circle and then drop them down to the right, or left. So I circle out the hips and it really releases the hips and the low back. I'm going to take the circles in the other direction. You can be taking cat-cows here. You can be rounding the spine and shifting the hips back, whatever feels right in your body. That's the beauty of a yoga practice. It becomes all about what feels good, what feels like release. Let that left leg come out and circle the hip. We're going to take your knees and your shins wide now and press your hips back to your heels, taking this variation on frog pose. Allowing the forehead to either rest on stacked palms or rest on the floor. And slowly rising back up, hands come underneath shoulders. You're going to take a seat to your right, so right hip will come down. Knees are going to be to the left side of the room. You're going to twist the upper body to the right and simply bend those elbows as you walk down, feeling a gentle twist. I'm feeling it right across the inner hip crease here. I'm feeling a gentle twist, and I'm going to begin to walk my hands and torso to the right corner of the mat. Gentle lengthening across the side of the waist on the left, and some hip crease opening and awareness on the right. Allow the palms to come down, walk the body up. Keeping your right leg bent, you'll extend your left leg out. So you may need to make an adjustment here. Hands to your knees, lift your chest, fold forward. Once you find your edge, support yourself on tented fingertips, wherever that edge is. Again, inner thigh here. And slowly begin to walk up. Take your right hand behind your back, your left hand to your right knee, and begin to find your twist. Slowly draw back through center, bending both knees and sending the knees over to the right side of the mat. As your torso comes to the left side, you can even take your thighs parallel to the short side of your mat. Twist your torso to face the floor, and then walk forearms down. Once you reach the earth or whatever you require for support, begin to walk the torso over to the left, finding that gentle stretch right up over the right side waist. Slowly walk your hands back underneath your shoulders. You're going to send that left leg bent, right leg will come straight. Starting with the hands to the knees and folding over. And coming back up through center, you'll take left hand behind the back, right hand over left knee. Lift your chest, find that twist. Press out actively through that right heel. And slowly come back through center. Finishing in the reverse order of the beginning of class, we'll take the soles of the feet to the earth. Hands come behind the knees. Lift your chest, seated cat-cow. Round your spine. Lift your chest. Round your spine. Last time, lifting up. And this time, as you round down, you'll make your way all the way to the earth, taking both knees in towards your chest. Hugging the knees in. And as you breathe in, you're going to press the shins into your hands. And then as you breathe out, draw those knees back in towards your chest. So as you press into your hands through the shins, those knees come away from the torso a bit. Exhale, draw back in. Inhale, press. Exhale, pull in. Last time, inhale, press. Exhale, pull in. Soles of feet release to the earth. Take your right ankle over your left knee. This time, hips open quite a bit. So as you interlace behind the left leg, perhaps this time really activate the flexed foot on the right side and press that knee outward. Add the hamstring stretch if it feels okay by sending that left heel up. And then release down. Switching the cross of the legs, left over right this time. Interlacing behind the right leg, body warmer and open. So perhaps you flex the foot, work the knee open, only if that feels right. And draw those knees even closer to the chest. Activating that hamstring stretch, if you like, by pressing the heel up to the ceiling. And slowly release down. Take the soles of both feet to the floor, taking them wide as the mat. This time, as the knees drop over to the right, you're going to keep them there. At the beginning, we kind of, went back and forth with breath. This time, we're going to stay. And you're going to feel a little stretch right across that place where the upper thigh, the femur, meets your hip socket. If you would like the stretch to come a little bit deeper and come into the SI joint where the upper hip meets low back, you can cross that right ankle up over the left knee. Slowly allow both knees to come up through center, soles of the feet again as wide as the mat. Dropping over to your left this time. Allowing your body to just feel into that movement, feel into that twist. And then know what might feel right for you. Perhaps ankle over knee to give a little bit of extra weight to the twist. And slowly coming back through center. With your feet wide, let both knees come into the chest, thighs about as wide as rib cage, perhaps wider. Finding this deep variation on dead bug pose. A little bit of rocking from side to side. Slowly drawing the knees in toward one another. You'll circle 3 times to the right. Noticing how perhaps this time around the body feels a bit different. Maybe the mind feels a bit different. Circle 3 times to your left. Maybe the breath feels a bit different. And drawing both knees in towards your chest. Let the soles of your feet drop down. Walk your heels back toward the sits bones. Palms will face up. This time, full bridge. So instead of simply a pelvic tilt, we're going to lift right up through the hips, trying not to clench the glutes. Just lifting, pressing knees and shins forward. Slowly releasing down. One more time, rise up, maybe even interlace hands underneath the body, pressing the pinky side of the hand into the earth. And release down. Both knees come into the chest. Draw the legs up, so Viparita Karani, or legs up the wall. So if you do have a wall, you can always take the heels to the wall and simply rest against it. Otherwise, just allow the weight of the legs to drop down into the hips. So you have a soft bend in your knees. Feeling neutral through the low back here. Feeling heavy through the entire back body. And slowly bend those knees and extend your legs all the way down the mat, finishing as we began in this stillness. Allowing your legs to relax, perhaps toes splay outward. Allowing your shoulder blades to support the back body as the chest opens. And feeling the palms face upward with the knuckles down on the earth. Take a moment. Notice your back body. Notice the weight, the release and the surrender. But importantly, notice the support of the earth below. And no matter how heavy the burden, how heavy the load, the earth is there to absorb as you surrender into the heaviness that perhaps sometimes comes toward the end of the week. Let your body feel light as the earth supports you and meets you. And in doing so, bring your attention to the front body and feel your breath rise, a light, lifting, airy quality. Feeling the exhale wash over you and release tension. Use your breath to scan from tips of toes to top of head. Use your exhale to relax from top of head to tips of toes. You could almost watch that breath rise, scanning, softening, watching the breath release, melting, and surrendering. And find your way to your Shavasana. Slowly begin to bring some gentle awareness back to your body through breath. As the breath becomes deeper, allow it to bring movements into fingers and toes, circling maybe through ankles and wrists or any movements that feel right. And finding any final stretches in your body. Slowly drawing knees in towards your chest, making your way off to your side, and using your hands to press you up to a comfortable seated position with eyes closed. Taking this final moment to be fully present in your body, scanning from head to toe once again, noticing any changes you might feel. And reflecting as we go into a holiday weekend on the ability that we bring ourselves to relax. So reading here, learn to relax. We need to learn how to relax and unwind. Find something that's relaxing, healing, soothing, and most importantly, available to you. Sit in the sun, sit in the tub, take a trip to a nearby hot spring or mineral bath in your state, perch atop a mountain or hill, taking in the view from above. Let yourself sit and soak it in for as long as you can. Let yourself be still for as long as you can. Move around a bit if you need to, then go back and try again. Don't do it just once. Try it often. Allow yourself to relax. Give yourself opportunities to unwind. Soon you'll learn how. Pay attention to what you think and feel when you try to relax. Watch as a neutral observer without judgment or reproach. What thoughts come to mind? How do you feel? What do you feel? Go as deeply into your thoughts and feelings as you are able. Sit quietly for as long as you can. When your body is done, it will tell you. So this weekend, I do invite you to find a bit of stillness, a bit of quiet, and simply sit with it. And the easiest way to still the mind, the body is somewhat easy to still, but the easiest way to still the mind is watching the breath. Just watch it rise, watch it fall. And if you lose track, start again. Every inhale, watching it rise. Every exhale, watching it fall. I invite you to practice this as often as you like, but perhaps starting this weekend, as we take time out from the hustle of a typical work week. As you breathe in, allow the arms to rise up overhead. As you breathe out, take the hands together in front of center chest. I'll seal our time together with a single round of Om. Inhaling. Surrendering your head to your heart as you swallow in the back of your throat. Raising your thumb knuckles to center forehead. All that is light and love in me honors and shines to all that is light and love in each of you. Thank you as always for coming to your mat, finding stillness, and learning to relax. Namaste.